marketing. So as people join, I'll just be like letting them in. But I'm so excited to have everyone at the Love Your Offer webinar. Like I was saying before, you might want to get a notepad up. You might want to be taking notes. And of course, I'm going to be emailing all of you this recording so you guys can keep you don't have to stay super engaged because there is a lot of information that you're going to be learning tonight about what makes an offer that you love. And I had in here to put in the chat who you help with your business. Feel free to add that as we roll. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about is when I'm helping people, when I first start working with people, as many of you know, if you work with me, what you'll find is that I usually do an audit of your social media before we get started. And what I've found is that a lot of people who I start working with, I can tell immediately whether they love or maybe don't love their offer just by looking at their social media. And here's what happens when you have an offer that you love. I can tell immediately that your business is going to be more profitable. If we're thinking about creating a profitable business over time, that means that you are going to be so excited to sell your offer. Like when I am selling my offer, Six Figure Systems, I am super excited about it. I am feeling really genuine. I know that I can help the people that I work with. And because of that genuine and authentic love of your offer, it brings in more clients very naturally and it brings in more revenue automatically. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this webinar in the month of February. I was like, how perfect, love, we're going to talk about this. The next thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to make your offer and your business feel more enjoyable. One of the things that I see from so many people is that marketing is the vein of their existence. And it was the vein of my existence too, because I didn't have an offer that was very clear. And so whenever I went to market, it was very difficult. I was kind of going all over the place. And of course, the algorithm wasn't responding to my business because I wasn't clear. And once you have an offer that you love, your offer is going to feel so much more marketable to you. You're going to know exactly what to say, and it's going to bring you back to your passion and the reason why most of us started these service-based businesses in the first place. And last but not least, when you have an offer that you truly love, you create a scalable business and a scalable brand. I want you to start thinking about you. You are obviously not your business, but you are creating a service that I want people to know by name. I want people to look at you and be like, oh, Patty, I know that she does essay writing with this awesome program. And I know that because we've talked about this at length, but I want you people to just associate you and your business in a way that feels really scalable so you can have your business grow, not just for this year, not just for this next couple months, but for years to come. And for some reason, I clicked on something that was exciting. But we're going to keep it moving. Technical difficulties. So, when you're thinking about creating an offer that is really going to take your business to the next level, I have spoken to some of you personally, and I know that you're passionate. I know that you are ready to help people and you want to help lots of people with your business. So, that is one of the reasons why I'm just so glad that you're here or watching the replay and are ready to like make your offer a next level offer. The next thing that I've seen with all of you is that you are committed. You've been getting the emails, you've been responding to my emails, you have been messaging on me on social. You have been really trying to create this business and get it off the ground because you want to make this business work for you. I don't know what circumstances you all face, but I know that most of us start these businesses to give us either time or financial freedom. And so I know that this is a big commitment for you, and I want to help you to really grow as you bring this commitment to the world. And last but not least, you're all are solution oriented. If you're on this webinar, it's because you want solutions. You're not focusing on the problems. You're like, I am ready to get going. I want to get my business on the right path. And you are ready to know the next steps to take, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight without all of the burnout trainings and going not just another year, but another month, week without growth. And I know all of you guys are getting my emails because you're here, but I wanted to just do a quick introduction of who I am. I want to let you know that I'm Megan. And I founded my business, Six Figure Systems, because I realized that there were things, my offer being one of the most critical things that I created a system for when I first started my business. I learned that every single business from Amazon to my solopreneurship that I have going on has a system. And I learned that there were ways to make it work. And I created systems that made my career coaching business thrive. I actually made six figures with that in my first year full time. And because of that, I was like, wait, more people need to do this. I am not a special snowflake. I know that I am not someone that is unique. I know that everybody can do this. And I wanted to help more entrepreneurs create more money in less time. I'm really passionate about this because I've seen that our society as a whole is shifting in a more service-based business way. I know that more people are leaving their jobs than ever, and I wanted to help you do this. And I know that this works for literally all of my clients, but I wanted to share a couple of stories throughout this lovely evening. And every time that I share a story of a client, you're going to see a word here that you might not be familiar with. I put that they're founders. Every single one of my clients, they all found their own program that is an offer. We're going to be talking all about this tonight. But Amber is one that came to mind that I wanted to share with you. She founded the Confident Eater program because she helps people who have struggled with potential eating disorders previously confidently eat, which is like the coolest thing. I'm so thrilled for her. And she was in my first round of my mastermind. And within the first 4 months, she had already made 10K. She knows how to create content that converts, and she signed 5 clients just within that first round. So I know it's not just me. I'm not just a special snowflake. These programs and these systems work for everybody. And so I want to share a really big piece of what I do with all of you tonight about how to create a profitable offer. We're going to talk about the problems that I see with many people when I'm looking at their offers and the things that can make your business statistically improbable to scale when we're looking at your offer. Then we're going to talk about the solutions, how to actually make a profitable offer that works for you and for your clientele. Of course, I'm going to let you know about Six Figure Systems and what that would play and how that would look for you in your business at this point. And we're going to do an open Q&A. You guys are the only thing I have planned for this evening. So you can stay on, ask as many questions as you need. And if you have to leave, I will be, of course, mindful of your time, and you can message me any questions that you need. Now, here are some problems that I see when I am looking at people's offers and the ways that we can improve yours. So the biggest thing that I see with any business that I look at is that clarity is the biggest issue that I see that's missing from businesses. I see when I look at people's social media, for instance, I will see that they might have a bio that's kind of clear. It's like, okay, for instance, I was a coach. They might have like, I am a coach. And it'll be like, they'll have something like very motivational. A lot of time it's like, especially like for my like lovely like service-based people, they're like something positive, which I love, but it's not really clear. And a confused mind says no. And I want you to help as many people as possible. So we've got to clear this up. This is like not a great thing that we want to be looking for. So we want to make sure that you've got a very clear offer. And when I see people that have multiple offers, so I'll see buy this template, do this goal session, go ahead and sign up for my 3-month program, my 2-month program. It's very overwhelming for the user, and too many offers create decision fatigue. The human brain can only make 50,000 decisions a day, and that's from everything to lift up this cup and put it down. So we want to make sure that we are not creating decision fatigue for anyone that is looking to work with you. We want to make it very easy for them to say yes. So what we need to do is we want to create a really clear solution that prospective buyers really want and love to buy from you. It's just an easy yes every time. So I have on here simple sales because this is the solution. A lot of times people talk about having multiple offers, and that's a philosophy that some people teach. However, one of the things that I found is that when you have one offer, when you have one thing that you share, it makes it statistically improbable, I should say, for your business to fail. Because what happens is you need to be marketing one thing as much as possible. When a person is considering buying from you, just a little stat for you, it takes them 17 times of seeing one thing over and over and over again for them to even opt in and say yes to it. So if you are sharing, like, buy this, buy this, buy this, they need to see each offer 17 times. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't care to post 150 billion times a week. And we want to make it statistically impossible that improbable or probable that they will say yes to you and the first most profitable, lucrative thing for your business and the best thing for them in their life. So we want to bring it down. We want to create a really solid offer that encompasses all the things that you love, that things that you excel at. We want to put it in a nice little little box, tie it up with a bow and be like, here is what I do. And it's very simple for them to either say, this is for me, this is not for me. So here is where we're going to get into the nitty gritty. How do you craft a high value offer? What are the components? I want you to think about these 4 questions, and I'm going to ask you these questions in a different way later. But I want you to think about what is the problem that your product or your offer solves? What kind of things do you specifically create a solution for in your business? Then I want you to think, and I'm going to give you an example in just a second. If you're like, what do you mean by this? I've got an example for you. So the next thing that you want to be asking yourself is, how will I solve this problem for them? How is it very clear that this is the solution for their problem? People can solve a problem in a lot of different ways. People can do a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. We want to make it clear that the way that you solve the problem for your potential clients is the best thing for them. And that means we need to communicate that really, really clearly to them. The next thing that you want to be thinking about is, who are you solving the problem for? I was guest coaching for another program the other day, and one of the things that I think is a missed opportunity is that I want you to be crystal clear on who this program is for and who it is not for. A lot of times when I ask people who is a good person for you, I'll hear something that is like, it could be for everybody. And I'm like, that's great. But I truly believe that a lot of things, if it's something general like coaching, it can be applicable to anybody. And I want you to narrow it down because it's going to make it easier for you to market and get clear on the aspects or the pillars of your offer. So for instance, I don't sell necessarily to brick and mortar businesses. I can help them, but I focus primarily on online service-based solopreneurs. That is my specialty. So I want you guys to get that clear about your offering, and it's going to help you with your whole program as we go on. The next thing is we want to get nitty-gritty about why. This is the biggest piece that I see a lot of people missing, is that we don't know why their problem needs to be solved. A lot of times, if you are solving something that is a little bit more intangible, we'll talk about like the pieces of your offer in a moment. But one of the things that I found is that if you aren't clear that this is going to save someone time, money, and energy, they will not. They will see you and they'll be like, that is so nice. I really like this person. They smile so much and they will move along without getting the opportunity to get all the help that you can offer them. Now, when you are making your offer the first time, you are never most likely going to end up with the exact perfect thing that makes your offer tick and is the exact perfect wording. It is not going to be the perfect pillars. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you aren't going to get it necessarily right the first time. It is going to be a work in progress. We are not attempting to get it perfect. I just want you to kind of get an overall idea about what your offer is so that you can move forward and refine it as you go on. So just so you know, a lot of us who have businesses, we tend to be very high achievers and we are looking for the right answer. What is my exact right offer? What is the exact right wording? And this is where we need to be comfortable with the messy middle, trying and evaluating a offer and tweaking it in small ways as you go on. So that's why I would recommend. I've changed my pillars and my offer, like it really integrally. I've changed it like 4 times, like big shifts that I've made, and I've changed my offer twice. And the world did not end. I've still made multiple six figures even as I was changing my offer, and your business will continue to move on as well. It's just something I noticed, and I just want to prevent that for you as we go on. So, this is the example I mentioned. Again, it is changing and ever growing as my business goes on. However, when I was thinking about what six figure systems is the solution for, I wanted to think about like who I help. And I was like, I help people create successful, simple, and enjoyable businesses. Just a very simple statement, but that is what this program is designed to do. Then, how do I do that? I help people to refine a really strong foundation for their business. I help them simplify the structures and the offers within their business. I help them launch a profitable offer and plan for a fulfilling future. That's how I do it. That's the 4 steps that somebody will go through when they work with me. The next piece of this is who this is for. Like I mentioned before, this program works really well for solopreneurs who have side hustles or startups. In a startup, just the only difference I would define is that a side hustle is someone who is working part-time in their business and have a full-time job, or a person who has gone full-time in their business and they are ready to rally with it. And last but not least, the bigger why is that if you are not managing your mind and your resources, then you are not going to enjoy your business and your business probably won't grow. So I'm like, that's a very important why. That is probably why all of you are here. You're like, I need to either get more money, I need to have more time, and I'm spending too much energy. And you've seen in my marketing that this is what I do. So you're like, this makes sense for me. So the first thing that we want to do when you are defining your offer is I want you to think about 3 things. I want you to think about the length of your offer. I want you to undercharge, and I want you to over deliver. I'm going to explain what all those things mean. The first thing is right now, you might have a length of your program that you feel really good about. But I want you to, at this moment, just maybe if you don't change it tonight, but you can just ponder what really, if I'm thinking about the best fit person for my program, what would be the timeline that my ideal customer would need to get the results that I'm promising? How long would that be? And I would like for you to add a little more time to buffer. The way that I thought about my program is that I know that I will get through all of the systems in the first 3 months. Like physically in my group, I teach the whole time that I'm like in there. So it's like 3 months could be the length of six-figure systems. However, I know that it takes time for people to implement, for people to adjust, and really settle into their offer. That's why I decided to make my program 6 months. When I first started coaching, I actually I thought I was going to coach children. That was the game plan. And it was 10 months. And then I moved it to 5 months. And so I had to play around with the timing. So don't feel like you decide the timeline and you're done, but you want to be really confident about the timeline that you're offering. I've seen a lot of people kind of like say, oh, I don't think people will buy a program that is longer. And those are really just your thoughts about the timeline. I want you to know that if you feel sold on the timeline that you offer, I've had people offer year-long programs and I've had people offer month-long programs, and both are successful because it was exactly what they felt their ideal client needed. So I want you to feel confident that you can get them the results that you're promising with the timeline. The next piece is I want you to think about what would feel like a total steal for someone to buy your offer. What feels like you are undercharging and over delivering? And that thought of undercharging is I feel like whenever I am talking to people about the pricing or get into that aspect of my consult, I'm like, this is a steal. I know that I can get you these results. Here are the stats. If we sign this many clients, which I am confident that we will be able to do, maybe not in the exact timeline, but maybe over the course of your business, you are absolutely going to make your money back with this program. And it feels really easy to sell that. If you feel like you can always change your pricing, but I found that it's a lot easier to start at a lower price point and just scale up from there. The next, I was just gonna say like a quick thing about that is like I've had people that have started selling their offer at a price point that was really high and they wanted to get to, for them, they didn't feel confident about the price point. And so what happened is when they were going through their sales process, they would always get to the price and then they would leave the consult. They'd be like, here's the price, hope you buy, bye. And that is just, if you are feeling like that, it might be a time to just take a look at pricing, just double check in. Am I feeling super confident about that? And make something that feels easy to sell right away. Again, you can always like be like, I will sell 5 clients and then I will raise it to this new price, but it's better for you to undercharge it. The last piece that I found is that when you are thinking about your offer, you want to always over deliver. You want to make them feel like, oh my goodness, I got such insane results. Like I wasn't even expecting this. And so one of the things that I found is that there are 3 benefits when you over deliver. You might get customers that are renewing with you and going again and again with you. I've had clients that have worked with me for 4 or 5 rounds of my program because they just really are like, this is exactly what I need. I have found that they will refer me to other people because they're like, I got insanely good results. This is working for me. You must work with Megan. It absolutely works. And last but not least, they're also giving me testimonials. Some of you guys might know testimonials are the template that I usually give out as my freebie. And a lot of times when I'm selling people, I will be like, look, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to like all of the people on my Instagram. And every third reel and every third post is a testimonial. I actually had a client or a consult the other day where it was follow up and the husband was like, great, this sounds awesome. Last question, just checking in. Do you have anyone that I could have as a reference? And I was like, here, you can contact this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, literally any of them. Their Instagram is on here. Feel free to message them. And they bought on the call. So it's really good when you feel like you're over delivering for your people. It serves your business for years to come. So when we are thinking about creating a signature offer, something that you are the founder of, just like I mentioned with Amber with the Confident Eater program, she has founded something. It is so much more than just, oh, Amber coaching. She is now the founder of the Confident Eater program. It creates a movement. It's a signature thing that you can speak easily to with people that can identify with their results. So the Confident Eater program, The Curvy Girl Dating Program is another program that Christina created, and it's very clear who you help and what kind of things you do. So, the formula I like to use to create a name for your offer is thinking about who it's for and then the ultimate result they get, the time frame it takes, or the cost it could be. For instance, or the cost kind of being the result. So, as many of you guys know, I worked with Stacey Bayman for 2 blissful years, and I still work for her now. And I did her 200K mastermind. And it's very clear that this is a mastermind, a group coaching container that is for people who are aiming to hit 200K and more in their business. Very good naming, very good wording. It is clear. It's her signature thing. Another thing that I did when I was building my business was Online Coach Accelerator. I am an online coach. I wanted to accelerate my business. That is why I did the program. It's very clear. It was Rachel Bell's brand at the time. And when I did it, I was like, yes, this is for me. I can identify it right away. The Profitable Yoga Boss Group. This is something that my coach, Jackie Murphy, led. She wanted to help yoga teachers and yoga bosses become profitable. I did Dorothy Johnson's amazing Get Over Your Ex program when I was dumped, for lack of better words, back in 2022. I needed to get over my ex, and I knew that immediately. The second that it happened, I went to her immediately. And then the two programs that I've created were the Career Fulfillment Initiative and Six Figure Systems. So, just a quick glaze over. I want you to think about how to take the thing that you said within your, if anyone was saying at the beginning, like, who do you help? I want you to think about how you can name your offer in a way that makes it stand out. So, like Kayla, you were saying that women during post pregnancy and postpartum, a way that you can name your offer could be one of the things that it's like the postpartum, the pregnancy and postpartum, that could be who it's for. Maybe these women want to be more confident about their journey. So you could be like the confident pregnant woman's accelerator or something like that. That sounds weird because it sounds like you're having your baby faster. I'm coming up with that purely on the spot, but that was a really poor example for you to be thinking about. So in that way, keep playing around with it. Feel free to, and I can help you do this. Like, yes, the Fierce Womanhood Framework, that it could be something that could definitely be starting. Eleni was saying that could definitely be the start of something. And who are the women? I know you because you're my one-on-one client, but it's like, intimacy, right? So it's like, I would say something about intimacy in there. I would say something about the Women's Intimacy Initiative, something like that to make that offer stand out, to be like, oh, not only does naming your offer help like that, however, that also helps the internets to be like, I'm seeing the keyword intimacy, intimacy, intimacy. It knows that people are Googling intimacy issues with their partner. And then it points all of the algorithm, points all the people who are searching that in your direction. So this can help with what's called search engine optimization or SEO for your business too. We are flying. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So maybe it's like something like, Kayla, we can at the end of this, let's like brainstorm because I want to get through. I feel like some of the pillars could be she was saying that with the pregnant women and postpartum women, they help lactation, pelvic floor, and nutrition. I think those pieces are potentially aspects of your pillars. Your pillars are something that I think that you might have heard me mention, but you've got the big offer, right? So we've got the big overarching offer. For me, it could be it is Six Figure Systems. I used to have the Career Fulfillment Initiative. And when I created that brand, just in and of itself, when I created the name, just going back to that for a second, that already made me stand out My business used to be Megan Wing Coaching. And that's good, right? It's like, that's nice. But it's like a lot of people were relying on me, and it was a business solely built on me as a human, and they weren't investing in something. They need to be investing in an idea, a result, the bigger why. And that's one of the reasons why naming your offer is so, so important. You want to make yourself stand out within the industry. And within that overarching offer, you want to have what I call core pillars. So if you think about your business as like a house, the foundation of your house is the offer itself, the name of the offer. And then what are the things that make it work to make results happen for your clients? So when I'm talking about core pillars, this is a more advanced kind of subject. But what I mean by that is these are the things that really tie your business together. Oh, and Tiffany, you're it's like, I don't know how that happened, but I love it. It gets a little pizzazz to the slides. I was like, I don't know if that's, we're just gonna, I don't know how that happened, but we love this. So, yes, what we want to do is we want to think about what you offer and you want to create something that really um refines your offer down. And what I've seen is I'll see somebody who might be marketing, let's say they do a nutrition program, right? So they've got an offer that's all around nutrition. But in their marketing, they're talking about things that are not related. They'll talk about things that are, let's say they are a nutritionist and they help people that are looking to gain muscle weight, and they're trying to be bodybuilders, for instance. One of my friends and clients does that. So within their business, what I saw on their overall page is stuff that was unrelated to bodybuilding, muscle weight, and gaining that muscle mass. For you, we've got to make sure that when a person is going through your business, they are getting a cohesive experience. When they see your marketing, they are like, ah, Megan is all about six-figure systems. It's all about marketing, selling, delivery, and planning. Those are the things that she does. And then when they're on a sales call with me, guess what? We're talking about the same things: marketing, selling, managing leads, and planning. When they're on the consult with me, everyone talks about that. And then when I'm delivering to my client, guess what we track? Their ability to market, sell, manage leads, and plan. Every single time that they're seeing my front end or the front facing side, the client facing side of my business, they're getting a cohesive experience, which creates really happy customers. So we want to have pillars or overarching themes that your offer covers so that you can create that cohesive experience for people in your program. So I realized that when I was first doing my business, there were certain things that I really wanted to teach my clients. I was certified at the Life Coach School, and so I knew how to use the model. I knew anyone that worked with me, it's a way that you can coach yourself, it's a way that you can coach others. It is from Brooke Castillo, and I knew that every single person I worked with would get the model. I also knew that I wanted to teach people boundaries. I knew that was something that came up with all my clients when we were talking about their careers, and I wanted to make sure that was something that they learned. I also knew that there was a system called Monday Hour One that talked about how to manage your time. And I was like, this is something I want to teach my people. And I also knew how to use a wheel of life to do a future plan for people. So when I was thinking about what is a fulfilling career, I was thinking about these are the four pieces that I knew I wanted to teach. Now, I'm going to show you something that might overwhelm you. Just take a deep breath. I was like, it is the pillars of my program at that time. And we're going to go through it together and I'll explain how I got each piece. So within my offer, when I was creating my offer, I'm going to do this so you guys can, I'm hopefully, feel like I'm moving you guys around so that people in the People in the replay can see all the words. Underneath here, it just says pillars for my offer. So when I was doing the career fulfillment initiative, what I did is I knew I was teaching the unintentional model. I was teaching Monday Hour One. I was teaching boundaries, and I was teaching the wheel of life. Those were the things that my offer entailed. And then I thought about it and I was like, what does the model help people do? What does this prevent for them? And I was like, well, a lot of times when people come to me, they're really stressed. They don't know why. So when I was talking to people and I was doing my consults and things like that, I realized that a pillar of career fulfillment was burnout. People were feeling burnt out. This was also a keyword that the algorithm was sending me people about. They were always sending me people with stress. And I realized it was something I was repeating in my marketing and things like that. And I was like, oh, one of the pillars of my career fulfillment initiative was burnout. Then when I decided to fill this out to give me clarity on exactly what my offer was. So this is something called PSPR. It was something that I learned from 200K, but I broke it down in a different way from Stacey Bayman in a way that I hadn't seen anybody using. And this is how I created my whole program, and the way that the system I use for all of my clients is by taking the processes that I knew and creating core pillars for my business. So the way that I did this is I thought about if I were to take burnout and I were to do a consult with somebody, and I would be like, hey, where are you at specifically with burnout? What makes you feel burnt out? They would say, I'm just constantly stressed. Work is so difficult. My boss is horrible. And they would say lots of things here that would give me a lot of insight into, this is something I can totally help them with the model. When I was going through and telling people I was teaching them, it's like they would come on, they would tell me that they were stressed and things like that. I would get so many blank. I would be like, okay, I totally can help you. I'm going to help you with this model thing. They were like, I just want to be less stressed in 6 months. And I'd be like, I'm going to teach you the model. And they would be like, what? Like, you're going to teach me how to model? And it's like, are we going to take pictures? What the heck is this? And I was like, no, no, no. Like, you don't get it. This is something it's going to help you manage your mind. It's going to help you with all these things. And I would have to over explain every single time on a consult. And they were like, I just want to be less stressed, really overall. It's like, I just want to be less stressed. And when I had to over explain what the model was, what an unintentional model is, how we would coach together, and I'm like, I'm going to take a look at your thoughts and we're going to like figure out what thoughts are and we're going to like fix the thoughts. They were like, what is this woman talking about? I'm so perplexed. I don't know what I'm actually going to be learning. I have no idea what I'm investing in. And of course, I was getting all these people saying no. Instead, I want you to take what you know. I want you to take the services that you have, and I want you to name it something that is intriguing for the humans. Your process, and again, this is something that is a very advanced thing. I just want you to kind of get like an overarching idea of how having an offer can change your whole freaking course of your business. But I want you to see that, like, when I named all of my processes, I knew I had an instant to build trust with this person. I had to figure out a way to explain to them without over explaining what I do can help you. I knew that I had a wealth of information, but what I wanted to make sure I did is I said it in a way that they could use context clues and infer what I was doing to help them bridge the gap and be like, Megan can help me. I'm going to work with her. So when I was like, okay, tell me about burnout. Why are you feeling burnt out? What is your problem? Where do you want to be 6 months from now? Here is my process. I'm going to teach you something called the stress reset. It is a program that it's something simple that I do with my clients, and I help them to learn how to reset their stress triggers whenever they're feeling stressed at work so that they can actually enjoy their jobs and not be stressed at work. People are like, oh, that makes sense. A little bit more clear than the unintentional to intentional model that I was really trying to sell people on before. They didn't get it. And so I had to say it in words they understood. The other thing is I realized with Monday Hour One, I was saying time management. And you could kind of infer that, like, okay, on Monday, you're going to do something with the hour, but people were confused. And a confused mind always says no. So I was like, I'm going to teach you a calendaring system. It is the calendaring system. It's crazy when you put the word the in front of something, people listen. They're like, oh, it is the calendaring system. It was just Monday Hour One. But because I had the word the in front of it, people were like, she has something that truly can help me. It is a signature process complete with the Career Fulfillment Initiative. And when I'm paying Megan, at the time it was like $6,000 for 6 months. I'm not paying Megan for Megan because I like her. I'm paying Megan because I'm going to get a set calendaring system. I'm paying Megan because I'm going to get the stress reset. I'm going to know that by the end of 6 months when we work together, I will know how to create work-life balance because I'm going to get this cool thing called the boundary blueprint. I don't know what that is, but I can infer that work-life balance isn't happening because I'm missing boundaries. And then instead of just saying the boundaries, I made it the boundary blueprint. When you have a word like system, blueprint, plan, protocol, process, people are like, oh, I feel safe. I feel safe to invest thousands of dollars with you. I'm not just going to be throwing my money out the door. I'm going to get something that's proven and true. And then, same thing with the long term plan. I taught them the wheel of life. So I did this not only for my, like, for every offer that I do, but I also did this for oh, this is going to be fun. I did this for Six Figure Systems. Now I want you to see how just this shows up within my business when I'm doing this with my marketing. I'm like, if this is the problem, solution, process, result, I can take pieces of this and I can use it for my marketing. For instance, I could say, do you ever feel like you are speaking to a void? You need to stand out in the industry by having core pillars to plan and speak in your marketing with. That is why I teach you the powerful positioning strategy so that your presence on social media will bring in the people you're looking for. Do you see how taking the pillars, it just plugs it all together? You can also do this completely out of order, which is fun. And so you can be like, do you ever feel like you want to sign people that you're not signing the people who are the best fit for your business? It might be because you don't have the consult conversion blueprint. You need to have a clear formula for your consult so you can articulate exactly what you do and who you help. So your program is a no-brainer. That way, instead of getting overwhelmed on a consult, you'll be clear. If that sounds like it's for you, sign up for Six Figure Systems, right? So you can see how it flows together. You could also you can start at each point in your marketing. You can be like, let me tell you about the engagement protocol. I want you to help develop relationships so that you can consistently get more revenue, bring more people in, and you can actually nurture the people in your audience. I know that you might not have enough people coming and doing consults with you. You might feel a lot of inconsistency there. That's why I'm going to teach you how to manage leads within Six Figure Systems. Sign up for a consult. Let's go. Do you see how it flows? It's like, it's so much easier. And then you can utilize this for your marketing, for your selling, and for your delivery of your current clients. And what I actually do with them, and this is like a bigger overarching thing, but I ask them each week, how are you feeling about planning? On a scale of 1 to 10, on our consult, you said you feel like you're a 2 with planning. And I can actually track their progress. These things, marketing, selling, managing leads, planning, any of your pillars, if you're a service-based business, are going to be intangible things. They're going to be things that you can't touch, right? I can't be like, I feel like I can see that I'm this at marketing, right? There are other things that you can track, but I want people to feel confident planning, managing leads, selling, and marketing when they leave my program. That's why I have them rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. I know what that means for them. And then I can track it. And they're like, oh, because I have the CEO scheduling system, because I've worked with Megan, I know how to manage my time. I know how to manage my money. And I have an annual plan, a quarterly plan. I know how to reverse engineer my goals. And I know how to forecast and project my money for my business. Yeah, I know what I'm doing when I'm running my business. And if I see that clients are dipping in some area, they're like, they went from a 2 on our consult to a 7 and they dipped to like a 5. I can be like, hey, I noticed that you're a 5 for planning. Let's talk about it. So I know that everyone in my program gets the results and they see that they are too, which is very helpful. So I was like, Kayla, I'm like, I love this too. I'm like, this is literally like, I feel like this is the missing piece I'm seeing for so many people. And if you were to have that clarity in your offer, I really do know that it would be a game changer for you with your program. I know it would be a game changer for you in so many ways. So that is the gist of the offer and how to create it. It was a lot of information, but I know that many of you guys have been messaging me about six figure systems. So I'm just going to take a quick minute. Now you guys can see a lot of it, but I'm going to take a minute to talk to you if you're interested in working with me, tell you a little bit about that. And then we're going to open it up to a Q&A if you have any all questions about everything, and I can help you to do something better than the pregnancy accelerator. Kayla, I can help you with that. If you have a minute, which would be cool. So within this, I just wanted to show you the systems that I put in place once you have that core offer that make your business work. Now, everybody that works with me, whether you are one-on-one or in my mastermind, the first call that I do with everybody is a one-on-one call. And it's to make your offer. It's to go through this worksheet and be like, okay, what are your core pillars? How can we make it work? So that's the first thing that I would do with you as well. But after you make that, which is very jazzy and very cool, what are the other things that you would actually be learning? So these are my pillars that I just talked to you about, but it's the strategy that I've seen that can help literally every single person I work with know how to grow and scale their business in a far more confident way. And that is to make sure that they've mastered marketing, that they know how to use the powerful positioning tool. I teach a content calendar and things like that, but I use this thing called the powerful positioning method to make sure that you know what to talk about every single day of your marketing. You can very clearly stand out in the industry, and the algorithm will send you more of the humans. So that is one of the things that I teach. I also show you how to create more sales. I want you to close more people. I think that would be great because I've heard a lot about you guys. I know that you're very experienced, and I would like for you to help more people if that is something that you're looking for. So I want to teach you the consult conversion blueprint that I use. It is something that I've seen people get not only just like a 20% conversion average is what I've seen, a 20% higher conversion average. I've seen people get a 60% higher conversion average just because of the system I teach for that. And I think that could be really, really helpful for you guys too. It just shows people how to go through a consult in a way that's specific for your offer instead of something that's a little bit more general. And it's still customized for your people. The other thing I would love to show you is how to manage leads. I know that a lot of you guys might be talking to humans, you might be having conversations with humans, I hope. And I want to teach you the engagement protocol I have so you can create a larger audience and nurture your current people. And last but not least, I want to teach you how to plan for growth. These are the things that I teach within the CEO scheduling system so you can know how to use your time and track your finances. So those are the things that we do within six figure systems. And when we're thinking about planning your time and making your CEO schedule, that creates an 8-hour work week. So when you're done doing six figure systems after our 6 months together, I want you to be working only 8 hours max in the back end of your business. So hopefully you can do a little bit more work in less time. The next thing I would love for all of you is to have clear and confident marketing where you know exactly what to post every single day by using that marketing protocol I was speaking about. I also want you to have a very easy to use lead generation protocol where within that protocol, you can generate 2,500 conversations a year by just talking to people for 30 minutes a day. It's very simple, but it's something I see that's being severely underutilized in many of the service-based industries. And I would love to teach you how to do that too. I also want you to create, like I mentioned, the higher sales conversion. If you're having any lack of clarity or any awkwardness on your sales calls, six-figure systems would be a really great thing for you to consider investing in so that way you can create higher sales conversions and help more of your humans. And last but not least, of course, like supporting one-on-one and within a community. So the way I like to think about it, and there's a QR code here if you would like to book a consult. I am taking people right now, so feel free to look on here. It's the first link, and you can get on a call, and we can talk about how systems can give you that direction, clarity, and energy to reinvest back into your business and strategy. It's like, what was the other word? Strategy. So I have an exciting-ish update for you guys. I actually have 2 one-on-one coaching spots open, and I'm actually not going to offer this to everybody. I am choosing to keep it just for the people currently and potentially on Friday if people are, like, booking consults, I might open it up to the rest of my email list. But I wanted to let you guys know first, because you're here tonight, that I have 2 one-on-one coaching spots open right now. So I would love to work with you one-on-one. Eleni just joined, and many people have worked with me one-on-one. You can see a bunch of their testimonials. And I love working with people one-on-one because we can work together, just you and me, for 24 weeks. And I can ensure I'm tracking your growth. We're talking about your progress every single week, and we'll be meeting together, which is really fun. And you're going to get individualized template creation. So something that is really cool is that everyone gets template creation. Like, I will teach you the templates. I will show you exactly how to download things that go along with the program. However, if we work together one-on-one, I'm literally writing all of the pillars for you. I'm writing every single thing for your marketing calendar. I'm making sure that you have every single email for the sales calls that is ready to roll. And that's something that, if you're looking for that, that is something that I do. I also, within both the one-on-one and with group, I teach you live. So you don't have to learn. You can if you want. There's a whole classroom full of modules, but I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know live, and you're going to get the tactics, and you're going to be able to ask any questions you want right on our coaching call. I also have an individualized messaging system called Slack that you would get private messaging with 24/7. Again, I say that I will respond in 2 business days because weekends, I need them too. But within my business, I want to make sure that you have a private channel to contact me. This would be 45 minutes a week. So we would be meeting in an hour of your choosing, and we can go through the systems at your own pace. Some of the people who are doing this, they might want a lot more time on marketing, whereas in my group, it goes through a pretty set process. So if you're looking for someone to bring the pace with you, this would be for you. And if you want to have the flexibility to work around your schedule, the group is obviously at a set time. So if you want to join the program or do one-on-one coaching, you can get it at your own pace. And Holly is one of my clients that did my one-on-one coaching program, and she actually is doing it again, and she's killing it. And she founded within my program, very similar to the Career Fulfillment Initiative, she created the Career Fulfillment Accelerator. And within her program, she completely revamped her offer right away. She was offering a bunch of different offers at the time. She had like a consult call, she had a resume call, and she decided finally on a 3-month program. We figured that out for her. She completely revamped it. Not only did she fully book out her coaching program through May, I think it is now, but she doubled her conversion rate, and she is now creating a program. So that is something that she did within our one-on-one coaching. And I want to let you know that if you would also like to work with me within my mastermind, that is coming up as well. And you can get into early enrollment for that. We can do our one-on-one call to create your offer. That's what we do at the beginning of the program. In the middle, progress track, see how it's going, set new goals for the last 3 months of the program. And at the end of the program, in the last month, we set goals for the next 6 months, and we decide what your trajectory and your path would look like then. You get weekly Q&A to help you reach your goals. And depending on which time frame, I have a 10 to 12 group and a 2 to 4 group. So I actually did that today. That's why my voice is kind of hoarse. I hope you guys can't hear it. Can hear okay. But within that, you would get an hour of coaching, an hour of teaching, just like this. This is actually one of the first calls, and then an hour of Q&A so that you can learn for the first half of the program. Then for the second half of the mastermind, 3 months in, I'm done teaching you everything I can. And we used to open coaching for 2 hours. Oop. There's also a feed within the mastermind. So you still get 24/7 messaging. It's just with a group of your peers, and they can also give you feedback. It's very collaborative. Shannon is in the current group right now, and she is incredible. Everyone in the group is like so collaborative and supportive. They're going to each other's webinars and things like that to support them. And it's a very awesome and uplifting environment so that you would have for yourself there. Within the time period, that would be 2 hours a week, like I mentioned. And within that, the first half is half teaching, half coaching. The second half, 3 months, is all coaching, but we make sure that you get every system. I have you step out of the coaching room. You actually make sure that you make copies of each template within the call. And the cool thing is, you get a community of amazing entrepreneurs to work with and bounce ideas off of. So that is what happens in the mastermind. Armony is one of my amazing masterminders. She does the morning mastermind call, and she also refined her offer, founded the 6-month life reset, restructured her coaching calls, and she is an amazing mama of two. And she only works, she said that all of her posting only takes her 1 to 2 hours a week to do 6 posts. So those are the kind of things that I do with you in there. So I say that it's 6 months of simple scaling. I want you to know that that is possible for you. And I know we went over a lot today. So I wanted to leave time for a Q&A. I just want to make sure I got through that. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is meganwingcoaching@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to kind of go over some stuff, I am free until everybody else is done. So does anybody have any questions? I know, Nilo, you were saying that you felt like it felt too, and I was like, I don't know if you're still here, but you were talking about how you felt like your offer was a bit too general for your audience. So we can troubleshoot a little bit of that if you want to come on. If not, it is later in the evening, so there's no pressure. Kayla, if you want to talk through, of course. I was like, Kayla, if you want to talk through a little bit more eloquent wording for your offer, we can totally do that as well. Mm, bring it, Kayla.
Hi.
Hi.
It's hard because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what my offer is, but like I mentioned in general, my business is focused on helping women during pregnancy and postpartum. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm the one who's going to be providing the support with lactation and postpartum nutrition, but I'm also bringing on independent contractors who do the pelvic floor therapy. So
Mm,
yeah, that's just all of the areas of support right now. That like your pillar system and everything was super helpful though.
mhm.
I just love seeing that visual because I'm a visual learner. So I'm trying to
Assemble.
figure now, yeah, exactly what I should be focusing on because I there's like a mindset piece to it as well
Mhm.
that I would like to incorporate. Um, but that's all I've got so far.
So I would think about if in a way that you can do this is you can kind of go backwards. That's actually how, if you can't think of the offer right away, sometimes an easier way to go about it is through the pillars. And that's what I've done with a lot of my clients. And I just realized that Leslie's on here too. Leslie is another one of my amazing one-on-one clients. She was like, thank you. And I was like, I'm glad that you're here. So within that, one of the things that you want to do is you want to think about your pillars first. Maybe let's go with that. And you could think about what kind of mindset work does a woman who is in pregnancy and or postpartum need? You could
Yeah.
have stress management. Like that could be a pillar. You could talk about like stress. And instead of naming the pillar mindset, I've had a lot of people say that, oh, my pillar is mindset. And I wouldn't recommend that because unless you're a coach yourself, a lot of the average Joes aren't looking up mindset. They
Yeah.
are looking up like, oh, I'm feeling really stressed with my pregnancy. And so a
Yes.
pillar could be stress. The problem is they're feeling really overwhelmed, confused, um, concerned about all things that are going to
Yep.
happen during and after and like pre-birth. And so that could be their problem. The solution could be they want to feel a little bit of ease. They want to like what would you think? And also how long do you work with people?
That's also to be determined. I am trying, my goal is to for it to be more of like a longer relationship. I want to be a source of support throughout pregnancy and postpartum because I just feel like women, you just have so many questions all the time. And I just want to be that go to easy person. Well, myself and the other therapists, as questions come up, we're already there for you. Like getting your support system in place when you're pregnant so that we're already there and kind of walk with you the whole time, walk
It's
with you through pregnancy and postpartum.
I'm like, we're going to be talking in a couple of years. I'm like, I love this idea. So within that, I think that when we're thinking about the duration, where do they want to be with their stress levels? Let's say maybe it's like if you're going from like initially finding out that you're pregnant, maybe post term, it could be even 10 months. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the length that my program initially was the career fulfillment initiative was 10 months just
Okay.
so everybody knows. You could even do a year. It's like, but thinking about where they want to be with their stress management, what do you think they would say? Where do they want to be after working with you, specifically related to stress?
I would say the end goal for them is somebody who wants to be, you know, 12 weeks postpartum feeling confident, supported, um not experiencing anxiety, fatigue. That's where like the nutrition, like helping women understand how their nutrition and support system can help prevent. That's another key thing, is preventing a lot of common postpartum struggles. Like I just want to help women prevent a lot of these things by getting the support system in place ahead of time so that when they get to that period, they're hopefully, feeling really good and not experiencing a lot of the common struggles.
And what I would say for you in that moment, you said two words that I think anxiety and prevention that I would link very closely with stress management. So when we're thinking about the process, it's the third thing over. It's like, where are they now? Where do they want to be? Oh, geez. I was like, I was like, my Zoom does balloons and it's great. It's an adventure. We're living the dream. But within this, one of the things that I like to do is I like to think about what are two words that they would use and how can I incorporate that into a process? And I
Hmm.
would say like it could be the anxiety prevention protocol.
Okay.
That would because it one of the things I would just caution people away from if you're someone who is working with people in mental health capacities that
Hmm.
many of us as coaches are, we don't want to necessarily, you can, I've seen it done, make your pillar anxiety because there could be some clinical anxiety things that are going on. However, I feel like if you make it part of your process, also there are some things that you would be doing clinically. Maybe there's postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression that you could incorporate in there. But then if you're like the anxiety prevention protocol, it's, oh, there's a protocol that Kayla's going to teach me. I know it's going to prevent anxiety. That is what I'm investing in when I work with her. It's
Love.
not just like mindset. It's the anxiety prevention protocol.
That's so helpful. I
Yeah,
appreciate.
good. I'm so glad. And so if we think about that, we're helping them with stress, we're helping them with their physical, it sounds like they're when I'm hearing lactation and physical pelvic
Pelvic
floor,
floor. Yep.
maybe that could be like something like your physical well-being and your nutritional well-being, like, or it's like your health and wellness, like that could be
Hmm.
like a pillar. So if you think about those components, those are the kind of things that if you're thinking about like the program itself, it's sounding like you could have something like the complete like now this is the hard part. I'm semantics are not always my strength, so don't judge me, guys. And if anyone else has any fun words that they want to like throw in there, it could be something like the pregnancy like it's like you almost want to do like the pregnancy transformation, like something like that, like the total pregnancy transformation or
Yeah, transformation was a word that's like been popping up for me.
pregnancy and beyond. I love it, Landon. I'm like, I was like, Buzz Lightyear approved. Honestly
Yes.
really feel like I love that because it is clear that it's pregnancy and beyond pregnancy. And so
Yep.
it's like transform. Yeah, exactly. It's glad it's exactly how it sounds for you. But it's like transforming pregnancy and beyond. It's like, I think that could something like with the word about like shifting their experience, transformation, revamping. Maybe you could include like the 12-month pregnancy transformation, something like that, I think could be really helpful too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, transform your pregnancy and beyond, like get creative with that. And I don't know if you're in the Facebook group, but we can continue to like have some banter. I'm planning on potentially doing a live coaching call within the Facebook group so you guys can kind of see this like style of me. It's very different than my webinar style in action. So I'll announce that. I don't know if you're in the Facebook group, but there's a link to that in the QR code too as well. So if you're not in there, join. We're very fun. And I will be doing a live coaching call that I will announce on my email list as well. Hopefully very soon. Um, okay, Lynn, we'll miss you. Thank you for coming. Love that. I saw some more questions up higher. Um, Going back to Patty, you said in naming my program, what are other words to use other than mastermind or intensive? I like the word accelerator. I think initiative. I think those are some that could be really powerful for a one-on-one coaching program. You could say the word program. I don't have any problems with it. But if we're thinking about your ideal person, what they need is, and I know this because Patty and I, we've gotten to know each other a little bit in the past. And I'm thinking that something I saw that you posted a little bit earlier, you're like, I want it to feel less intense. I think you mentioned,
Stressful.
yeah, less stressful. Yeah.
I think accelerator or intensive, those sound a little too stressful for me. I was thinking like support system.
Okay. I, yeah, I think that like, so if we're thinking about synonyms, so because you're working with them one-on-one, right?
Yes.
When I hear support system, the only thing that is like making me hesitate with that, Patty, is I'm thinking that they might be thinking they're getting more than one you, or like it might be a group. You hear what I'm
Right,
saying? It's like when I hear the word system, it sounds like it's like a community versus
right.
a mm,
Initiative, I think, sounds just kind of neutral. And
better
then
than stressful.
yeah, and that's probably like initiative is probably a word that they know. It's kind of in the education, it's a word they hear in education, but I'll think about it a little more, but that helps a lot. I just don't want to give them the impression that I want them to be sure to understand that it'll make their life easier and simpler and better and more positive and not just like students are already like pulled in so many directions and into so many programs and whatnot. So I don't want to just be another program that they'll have to do. I don't want it
Mm.
to sound like it's just something they're going to have to do on top of everything else.
What the thing that came up as you were saying that you said easy, and that was the first word I was thinking of. It's like, so Patty helps college students with their essays. What if it's like the easy essay initiative?
Mm.
I know it's a lot of vowels, but I actually don't mind it. And it's got some alliteration.
Yep.
How does that feel for you?
Feels good.
Yeah. It's like the Easy Essay Initiative. It's like, I feel like that's something that, like, because I know that you have a really wonderful, soft, and like caring approach. And I feel like that kind of like the way that you could support them in thinking about their pillars is thinking about like using other words that feel really supportive and like a bit of a softer word in the pillars and in the process. And then when you're doing that in your marketing, it's going to attract a certain type of person.
Right.
Like it's not like the like I can see like maybe some other programs that are like the you mentioned like intensive, and it's like the 6 days to faster writing skills or something like that, like
Right.
versus
All
something
of that
that's
is too frenetic.
mm,
So like as we talked about, my ideal customers are not students who are aiming for Harvard. They're more students who are aiming for just middle of the ground schools. And so they don't want all that stress. Harvard students would love whatever the most intense wording I could come up with.
they
Like,
would
they
love
would
that.
love that. That's what they're into. That's what their parents are into. But these are students that really they do want the easy route. Like they just want to get it done and be successful, but they do the soft is a really good word for it, like a softer approach, a less intense, more
Mhm.
nurturing, um,
Yes,
more
all of the above. And what I'm
approach.
thinking,
But I don't want it to sound like it's the, for the not so brainy kids in the group or something like that. Like I don't want it to sound like that, but just something
yeah,
to help them and support them and remove some of their stress, remove so much of their stress, remove almost all of their stress.
really
Uh,
think stress should be a pillar for you.
yes, for sure.
Because I think that like if, and I don't know if you do the consults with children and with adults, or if you just do it with the adults, but I think that they would very easily be able to identify where they want to be and where they want to go after working with you as
Mhm,
far as stress goes. I also would recommend confidence being a pillar for you.
for sure.
I think those would be like two really good pillars to start, because if we're thinking about creating ease for an essay and an initiative, it's like I want to create less stress. I want to create confidence. And many of you guys might have the same words as your pillars, but based on your copy and things like that, like you and Kayla could have stress and you're never going to see the same people because you both are dealing with stress in your different niches. And even as a like in Nilo, I'm like so glad that you're here because she's a generalist. And I'm like, ooh, okay, so you can still do that. Multiple generalists are going to have the same, they could have the same pillars, and it's going to still create the same momentum for their audience. But I think I feel like this is exactly like that's why one of the reasons I wanted you to come tonight. I was like, I didn't even know if you were coming. I was like gonna message you, but I'm like, I feel like this is gonna really set your business apart, and I'm really excited to hear how it goes.
Well, thank you. That's really helpful. And there's some really great ideas in the chat that are great
Oh, I've got like seven new. I was
as
like, oh
well. And
my
then
gosh, of course.
hand to God, the notes that I took while you were talking for the pillars, um, stress and confidence, those were in the pillars that I had. And then I want to remove the feeling of desperation. And then I want to help kids who don't know how to get started. Those were my other two pillars.
I love this. This is so good. I'm like, yes, so awesome, Patty. I'm like, this is exactly and that's one of the things that like having an offer like that, it just like it makes it so much easier. So when you're on a consult with people or when you're doing your marketing and things like that, you can just be like, I it's like my program is the Easy Essay Initiative. I help students to manage their stress, create confidence, and develop writing skills for college and years beyond. This is what we do. You see what like it just flows. You're like,
Yep.
oh, it's like, what do you do? This.
Right. And either they want that or they don't. If that's not what they're looking for,
Exactly.
then
And then
we wouldn't be a good match. And so I don't need to I don't need to match with them. They can find someone else. But um, I love it. Thank you. Very high value. All of your things are always super high value. I really appreciate it.
oh my God, of course. I love you so much. And I can't wait to hear how it goes. You're gonna have to keep us posted in the Facebook group and stuff like that. Also, I'm obsessed. Like this chat, I was like, I don't know if Shannon's still here. Oh, Shannon, you are still here. I'm like, but this feels like our coaching call today. It's just like literally just like all of the love and collaboration in the chat. It's just like so fun. Okay, so Nilo, I see that it says the program is called Get It Done, 6 weeks or of 12 week 6 weeks or 12 weeks for women to achieve their current goals. I help women clean up their mind drama, get rid of their mindset blocks in the Get It Done program. And thank you, Lynn, meant to send it to everybody. So within this, I love that. And oh, I see the or. I was like, that's why I figured, Nilo. So when we're thinking about that, I want you to think about how you're talking about getting it done. Who would be a really great fit for Get It Done? And also, you
Hey
don't have.
Megan.
Hey, beautiful, how are you?
Hey. I'm good, thank you. Um, so so you're asking like who is it for? Like
Yeah, like
a
who
specific
would be an
age group?
awesome person? Who would be an awesome, like, are these women like women who are in corporate America? Like, what are they trying to get done? Would be my follow-up
Hmm.
question to make your offer even more clear.
I think okay, so when I was working on this offer, I feel like I was making it more for me. So women like me who it's like I feel like I have all these, different projects that are open. Like you have
Mm,
one project after another project after another. And it's like, how would a person like me finish that?
mm,
Right? So at first I was like trying to work out the wording, like, okay, this is going to be for high achieving women. This is going to be for mothers. This is going to be for teachers. Because I can relate to all of those.
mhm,
But then I was like, there are women in each of those categories that have those like open queues, right? So you might have this like lingering, this project that needs to be finished, and there's something that is standing in the way of you actually finishing it, actually getting it done. And so I was like, okay, without making it too fancy, something
get it
like get
done.
it done, like
Yeah.
let's get it done. And that could be anything. Um, but I feel like it's too general.
I think
Um,
that I really like I when I hear get it done, I'm like, ah, I know that it means to accomplish some sort of goal. The thing that I think that could be even better is when we talk about like clean up their mind drama and get rid of mindset blocks. I think that's a piece. If we gain a little bit more clarity on it, I think that like maybe the name might, if are you open to the name shifting at all? Or do you?
yeah, no,
Okay,
no,
cool.
definitely. 'Cause, I mean, currently I have clients, they are in like in my free trial program. I don't have any paid clients for this program. And, they're working on different things. Like one woman in particular, she wants to, she became responsible for like her father who's in a nursing home for all of
Mm,
his expenses. And that came out of nowhere. And she has no desire or particular skills in like dealing with his expenses. So she's falling behind in dealing with his expenses because she's like, I don't want to, there's like certain things getting in her way. And then there's another woman who wants to work on her closet. Like she's been trying to go work on her closet for years. And then there's another woman who wants to spend more time with her kids.
mhm.
And
I'm typing
so,
notes. I'm like, I was like, I'm thinking of you as you are like, I just want to let you know if you see me typing, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm getting as you keep talking, and I'm like, I'm gonna write as you talk.
But like, there's different things that these people want to get done. I have one woman in there who's a Mary Kay director, and she wants to double her team and she wants to double her income. So these are all very different goals that women want to get done. And I feel like my program is so beautiful. Like I am so proud of this thing. It's like a little baby. And it is so solid. Like it is perfect for all of these women working on all of these different goals. But then I'm like, how can I reach people out there who and I feel like it's too general. Like people here get it done, and it's like they're not taking the time to actually read any more into it or like read any like the description of the program or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think that like this is one of the things that like I think that like when you say if maybe I was like so the two things that I wrote down are organization and productivity.
Yeah,
It's sounding like they're not whatever they're doing with the get it done, they're not like getting it done quickly because they're feeling disorganized and they're not like as productive as they want to be. I
yeah,
would think a word like accelerator might
okay.
be like the get it done is like awesome. And maybe it's like the achievement accelerator. I feel
Oh, I
like
see what you're saying.
you see what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you do the achievement accelerator. And also I would if you are doing 6 or 12 weeks, what I would just offer is but be like I like to and again, feel free to take it or leave it. This is totally my opinion.
Yeah,
But with the 12 weeks, it gives you more time.
yeah.
No, I've never had somebody be like, "Oh, I wish we coached less." Like I've
True,
never
that's
had
true.
somebody be like, "Man," but I have had people say, "Oh my gosh, I wish we had another month." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
Yeah, I
again
feel like six
question.
weeks is short. Like as a smaller, I feel like 6 weeks is, and that's the other thing. Like in this program, I host through Kajabi, and there are literally 14 modules. Like inside all of the modules, there are lessons, like multiple lessons, and I'm like, oh,
Fellow teacher, I feel you, girl. I use what's it called? Google Classroom.
Google
It is
Classroom.
the best. And I'm like, if there are 14 modules with separate lessons, and you're like, also I want you to do that in 12 weeks,
Yeah,
but I also know that you struggle with organization and time management.
yeah. I'm like
J-Lo.
that's fine. I have like a whole syllabus and everything.
For anyone who doesn't know, I used to be a teacher, so I'm like, Nilo and I'm like, we're buds. We can relate to the fellow teaching, and we want to set let's think about the students up for success.
Yeah,
We want
that's
to, if
true.
these are your students, we don't want to be like, oh, it's like, so I'm gonna give you. That would be like giving a first grader a high school textbook and being like, best. It's like
Yeah, but
let's, you know,
I wanted to, yeah, but I wanted to like, you know how Brooke says sell a Mercedes-Benz for $10? Like I wanted to sell a Mercedes-Benz for $10. Like I wanted to give so much value. And this is a lifetime access. Like you get the coaching with me, but you get access to this course for as long as you want, like the recordings and the content and everything. And I'm like, if people would just walk in through the door, they will see the amazingness. They will never leave.
yep.
Like that's how I feel about this.
Here's thought I want everybody to listen to right now. More stuff does not mean more value. Just like, and because more value means better, faster results. In my
I see what you're saying. Yes, but I agree.
So it's like I love the idea of having modules. I think that if they're in tandem with what you're teaching them and act as a support, I think then that is value for sure. I think that just based on what you've told me about your potential ideal client, it's sounding like they might not have a ton of time on their hands and they might
Yeah,
also
they
be
don't.
struggling with stuff to get done. And
Yeah.
it could actually be scaring them.
It
Like
is overwhelming because they're not finishing it. Like in Kajabi, you can actually see how much work you have consumed and videos you have watched or modules, and they are not making very good progress as far as like working on it. So yeah, the busyness is definitely there. I understand that.
yeah, and so it's just like, and it's like, of course, like for sure, when I started this, I had like 52 different things. I actually had 6 pillars to start. I included presentations because I obviously love doing presentations, and I included delivery to my clients. And then I realized that like some of my clients, they didn't need it's like if they were a graphic, I don't always just work with coaches. Sometimes I have graphic designers, photographers, and I moved my pillars of delivery and presentation down to additional systems and things that like that's a lot of, like the financial stuff is in there, goal setting, like a lot of the like bigger planning and stuff is in the additional systems. So we can
Mhm.
always have that as an addition. But I want you to think about like if they are trying to accelerate their achievement in some aspect of their life and get things done, what I think could be considered the Mercedes and the like $2 Mercedes is having something that you're like, oh, this is it's like I'm going to teach you how to accomplish your goal in 3 months or less.
Mm. Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
More
Instead
does
of
that
being
mean more
like,
value? Yeah.
exactly. Instead of being like, I'm going to teach you how to accomplish your goals because you need to watch all these modules, but it's a lot, so it's going to be good. It's like what I also just like for anybody, I used to show people all of the things that I would give them, thinking that I was like, this is going to really sell them on my program. I'm going to show them the marketing calendar ahead of time. I'm going to show them the graph that charts their client progress. And people were freaking overwhelmed.
Mm.
And it was like,
Mm.
ah, you're very overwhelmed. This probably isn't serving you. So that was one of the things that I just wanted to offer is like, and you can always try it and just be like, okay, it's like when you work with me, we're going to keep it real simple. I'm going to teach you how to do this, this, and this. You're going to learn it within 3 months and it's going to be awesome. But I would say that, like, I think that you might have made it like 6 weeks to be like, ah, it's a very short kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
think that,
Yeah.
like, it can be an over delivery even if it's longer too.
Yeah, I can see them thinking it's impossible for me to like work on this particular goal in 6 weeks. There's no way. So yeah.
And you mentioned you don't have paying people who are paying you for this right now.
No, I have the women that are in there currently. They are in so they I started this program in October. That's when they enrolled, and these were my friends and family that I got to come in and try out the program. And so they are the ones who are currently in there.
I love this. Okay, so what I would do from there is now you can do a launch and this is cool because you have another name. So it's like within the Get It Done, be like, I've been working on this for the past since October, and now I'm launching
Mm,
just a new name, the
yeah.
Achievement Accelerator. It is the
Okay.
perfect 3-month program for people who are looking to organize, become productive, and something else. And you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is gonna be for you. And I used to put it in the chat. But it's like then you can
Yeah.
rebrand it and you don't have to worry about and like changing your name. I also started, if you want to change the name, you can at any point.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
first launched the mastermind, it was the Business Fulfillment Mastermind.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay. I like that
was
name.
like,
That's
this
nice.
works. I was like, this is
Yeah.
fine. And you can change it at any point, and 9 people still joined in that first
Yeah.
round. So it's not an indicator that you have to get it right the first time. I changed it most, I've changed it a lot since then. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm very,
I don't want to take up other people's time who may want to come in and chat, but I'll talk to you about the price for this program a different time. That is another thing that I feel like I have mind drama on, but
yeah.
I'll talk to you about that a different time.
Well, I was like, I will try and do that coaching call. I don't want to do it this week, but I'm thinking maybe next week on Monday. I'm thinking that'll probably be the group coaching call time so that I can give you guys enough um time to think about it.
Well, yeah, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. That does really make sense as far as like it. Yeah, it does provide clarity for me. I appreciate that.
Of course. Thanks for coming, Neela. It was great to see you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I can't believe we went all the way to 9:30. This is like so fun fact about me. I was in that program 200K. It was a program that Stacey Bateman did. And like everyone would ask me for peer coaching to make their offers. And I would be like, all right. It's like my weird, I feel like just a weird thing I like can see for other people. I've had to have other people help me with my offers. It's something that like it's hard to see what your offer is because you're so in it. Um, but if you guys seriously, if you want any help at all, this is a huge piece of I think my whole program and just something I want every entrepreneur to have. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. You know I've got you. If you're not in the Facebook group, or does anyone else have any questions before we kind of close out for this terrific Tuesday evening? Amazing. Okay, just checking. And if you think it's something else, no worries. If you scan that QR code, the fourth one down is the Facebook group. There's also underneath there the coaching consult sign up. I would love if anyone is thinking about like working together. It's like many people on on this call have done consults with me. I promise I am not a scary human. I would love to do a consult with you, get to know you and your business. Um, and if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I am so excited to help all of you grow and learn about like all of your businesses and things like that. So if you have any questions, I've got you. And I will hopefully be seeing some of you soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.